Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for GWBC Radio's Open for Business. Now, here's your host.
Lee Kantor here, broadcasting live from WBENC's National Conference 2022. This is the 25th annual conference here, so we're excited to be here, and we're inside the GWBC booth 1812, if you want to stop by and see us. Right now we have TJ Lewis with Ally Financial. Welcome, TJ.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Well, you're a partner here with GWBC. Talk about why that's important for Ally to be partners with GWBC.
Yeah, so Ally, just to give a little bit of background on myself and Ally, I joined Ally in January 2020, and actually to launch our Supplier Diversity program. So we're a relatively new program, and in doing that, we knew we needed to really partner with some of the best councils in the area, and we have some key markets in the Southeast and as well as the Midwest. And we immediately contacted Roz. I'd known Roz from previous roles and knew that we wanted to kind of jumpstart our program engaging with the GWBC, and it's been a fabulous partnership that we've had over the last 2.5 years.
So you started this from scratch for Ally?
Well, I did. Joined in. Ally's known for very strong DE&I culture, efforts, our corporate citizenship work that we had as a team. We had just gotten to the point where it was time for us to launch the Supplier Diversity program, and I was honored to be selected to champion that, and it's been a joy. But keep in mind, I gave you the timeline, January 2020.
I know, that was an interesting starting point.
Exactly.
Like, hey, do you know that there's a pandemic going on here?
Well, it just, and we didn't know, and that was the thing. So, a couple months in, less than 3 months in, we're in the middle of the pandemic. And actually, one of the first things we did was we sat down with the GWBC and some of the other councils in particular on the local side.
Sure.
And said, okay, we knew we had to reach a lot of the businesses that were being impacted the most.
Right, and they needed the services of Ally. They needed the Ally to be an ally.
Yeah, that's right. And they needed the opportunities. And how do we do that? All of a sudden, WBENC, the national conference is going to be canceled. Everything's canceled, right? And so we actually, we sat down, we talked with Roz and team, and we came up with some pretty innovative things where we brought the access through virtuality, virtual events. You
had to figure out a way to make it happen because business didn't stop for everybody.
Exactly. And that's what's been meaningful. So it's funny because, being here today, I've worked, my team has worked with a lot of the folks at GWBC for years, and we had met him.
Never met him, right?
That's right. So it's exciting just to be here.
It's like a reunion.
Yes, that's exactly right. Exactly right. I joke that we're not just a square box with a photo, right?
Right.
It's real.
It's hard
people.
to believe,
right? And so it's just been really exciting to be here, and the partnership and things that we've been able to do. We got involved in their mentorship program. Where we were able to mentor a couple of women-owned businesses, and we're doing that again this year.
And the impact is real. Like, this isn't just something that a corporate higher-ups are talking about and like, yeah, that'd be a nice thing. You're seeing the real results of that relationship and the impact it makes not only on the individual business owner, but also their family, their community. I mean, the impact really trickles out and ripples out well beyond that individual.
Without a doubt. And, and that's what keeps us charged. And partnering and working with the GWBC and organizations like this, it keeps us going, and we figure out ways to be more innovative and creative.
Right, more creative and to make things happen, because you can't stop innovating or else you're going to die on the vine here. You got to keep kind of changing to adapt to what's happening, because the world is so chaotic and changing so rapidly. You have to help them kind of dream bigger, really.
That's right. So, and just kind of tying it in, I mean, so Ally, if you know anything about Ally Financial, we're a digital financial institution.
Sure.
And so that's kind of a disruptor. It's kind of an innovator in the space.
So how do you kind of, as having a digital footprint, but you're serving individuals locally and hyper-locally, how do you kind of thread that needle to be available to them as they need you every day in a local market, but also have this kind of global really presence?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the principles of the company. Well, we're able to serve anyone everywhere,
right? But also you want to be hyper local, right? To really serve the community.
Well, and that's just in the communities that we operate and serve, and across the 11,000 employees that we have. We are very active in those communities across the board, and so it's just part of that. And that's
the culture and the DNA of the organization.
Yeah, absolutely right, and it's actually why it was so fruitful starting the program here. It was, we already had a good culture, so it wasn't about, is this the right thing to do? It's everyone's like, what can we do to help?
Right. How can we do more?
Yep. Exactly. And that's been exciting, working with Roz and team to really come up with those things. They've been really instrumental. We started a couple of things, like we have, we do an annual symposium that we hosted virtually, and that all came out of the pandemic. We probably wouldn't have done that.
Right, But it's kind of forced your hand there, but it's one of those things where after the pandemic, you're like, well, let's keep doing that. Why not?
That's right. And that turned into, then we do quarterly spotlight events where we have a lot of the women-owned businesses are getting involved. They'll pitch to our teams, and what we found was, in addition to how we come to conferences like this, we actually do virtual events where they're able to talk directly to our buyers internally in-house, and they've loved it. So again, it's just the innovation that we've been able to get creative around is really exciting.
And it must be so rewarding too.
It is.
Now, how do you attack an event like this conference? Like, there's so many people, like you said, it's like a reunion where these are the first time you've seen in person, probably a lot of these folks. What's the strategy for you personally? Are you speaking, and are you on a panel? Are you doing any speaking? Are you kind of just going into booths and introducing yourselves?
Yeah, so a lot of the work that we've done was kind of on the forefront. A lot of the companies that we've met with, and we know that they're here. We actually schedule a lot of time to try to follow up, meet with them in person.
Because it's an efficient way to really do a lot of face-to-face conversations.
That's right, because everything else we've been doing for the most part has been virtual. And so we're taking the time to have that human touch.
Right.
There's always ad hoc meetings. I've been in this industry a while, so knowing a lot of people, a lot of companies, it helps. And so we really, as a team, we did our homework up front, came in with a game plan. Right. We do certain engagements.
But that's great advice for someone that is new to this industry and how to work a conference. Is you'd better be doing some upfront work and plan this out, or else it's overwhelming. There's too many people and too many things happening if you just show up and think you're going to just wing it.
That's right. No, you're 100% right. The homework is done. You're almost in execution mode when you get here.
Right, you better be, because you invested so much to get here, so you might as well get the most out of it.
Absolutely. So it's been really fun, and I have a few team members that it's their first conference here, and seeing that, and with the changes, and it's interesting because it's almost, you couldn't say like, how's it going to be, because it was all new for all of us again, than when it was 3 years ago.
Now, for the folks that should be connecting with you in terms of supplier diversity, are there certain niches that you want to work with, or any women business is fair game here?
Yeah, our approach is, if you have a product or service that you believe can help our institution, we're here to listen, and so, because sometimes, we have a focus in certain areas, but, our foundation is being a disruptor, and sometimes disruptors they come from areas you
couldn't anticipate.
Right. Exactly. So, we keep an open mind around that, so I'm interested in, companies that I may never think that we're a financial institution. Right. This isn't gonna. No, sometimes they're the ones that can surprise you and be that supplier you really want to engage with.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, if somebody wants to learn more about Ally, what's the website?
Yeah. So our ally.com, you can you'll hit the Supplier Diversity page as well. But one of the things, if people are interested, they can actually send an email to us, and Supplier Diversity ally.com.
And that's ALLY.
ALLY, yes. And our team, we respond to that. We do, when we look for suppliers to potentially pitch us, we do have like a one-pager that we will send to those companies, and they can fill that out, and we can get information on them to learn more.
And that just gets the ball rolling.
Gets the ball rolling. And so, you send an email there, and our team will respond.
All right. Well, TJ, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. This is Lee Kantor. We're broadcasting live from WBENC National Conference 2022 inside the GWBC booth, and we'll be back in a few.